All right, I think we are live. First live session on YouTube. Kana Wall Street. We're finally here. Finally gonna do this live streaming stuff. Day one of my live streaming journey. Welcome, guys. I'm sure we will grow an audience at some point. So we are 30 minutes away from market open. The way I like to trade, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to explain my methods, but over time you guys will see the way I trade the NQ or ES. I use basically volume profile and gamma exposure and liquidity levels. So right now it's Monday, first day of the week. You can see the market has been trending down. All right, you can see that quite clearly. My level, the line in the sand for me, was this level right here. Okay, this level. This was my level for line in the sand. This right here. 24,410. If we go below 24,410, I believe we're entering a larger downward phase. I would expect another 8 to 10% drop if this level is lost. But as long as we close above this, we don't get 2 daily closes under this, I still remain bullish. I still think we will see an end of a year rally. Okay, I do still believe in that. I still believe in that. All right, so let's do some analysis before the market opens. It opens in 25 minutes or so. Okay, so I want to just show you how I do my analysis. All right, so this is first what I do is, okay, I come out to the weekly. I mark out my weekly levels. All right, so let's just move this. Let's move this. So it's quite clear. This is the previous week high and this is the previous week low. All right. Now what I do is I'll bring it over to the 30-minute chart, and you can see this was our previous week range from last week. So what I'll do is I'll turn on the volume profile, and that will give me my levels. Okay, this is where I get my levels from. So this is the previous week value area low. This is the previous week value area high. Okay. Now I also look for volume nodes called LVNs. So you can see this is a little bit of a deeper value, a low volume node, but it's right on the value area high. So I will just leave, I would ignore that. It is followed by a large volume node. This one, I wouldn't consider the volume so high here. So I really don't want to mark anything here. Really, the volume is so low here, right? The volume is so low here. There's not that much volume. That's why you can see, massive pumps and then massive dumps, because there just isn't really that much volume here. You can see the NQ is trying to keep up that value area low. Actually, the value area low is here. Okay, the value area low is here. Yeah, that's it. Now I've got it. Guys, my camera might actually turn off because it keeps giving me the overheating sign. So I'm not sure, it might turn off, but I'm going to keep the stream running. I want to stream for, maybe a couple of hours after market open, and that should be enough for today. I want to keep it light as I'm getting my streaming journey going right now. So I want to keep the work light, keep it a couple hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours maximum. Hopefully we can get some trades. Right now, market isn't looking very good, is it? Market isn't looking very good. So let's see. Market's selling off. My line in the sand is 24,410. So let's see if this market can hold up. All right, let's see if this market can hold up. So this is the volume profile. This is where I get my volume levels from. All right, so not many levels on the chart at the minute. Then I'll drop it down to a daily level. Okay, so this will give me my daily levels. Okay, so an area of interest is this value area low here, or probably on the edge of it and not at the value area low. Is this a major level? Possibly. I might be interested in a long trade here, but I do think if we flush at the open, we're going to go deeper than this. So the way I would play this is, we get a big flush, I'd wait for a reclaim of the value area low, and then maybe we get, V-shaped recovery, or a recovery back to the upside. That might be a possible trade. The other way I do it is I use gamma exposure levels, and these levels are updated daily from spot gamma. So let's log into here. They give you some notes as well on spot gamma. So this is the founder's notes. It says the market is likely to stay calm until Wednesday afternoon, when Nvidia reports earnings, with the SPX pivot level of 6,800 acting as resistance and 6,700 as support. So that's basically, in a nutshell, your support and resistance levels on SPX. And I look at all indexes when I'm trading. Right, in my opinion, you got to look at all indexes, especially SPX, because SPX is the biggest index. NQ is just a proxy, so you got to be looking at SPX when you're trading NQ, because we mainly go off SPX gamma exposure levels, and then our proxy is the NQ. Okay, we take our trades off NQ, but if we have major levels, SPX is coming into major levels, then we have to pay attention to that. And I do take trades based off SPX gamma exposure levels. So let's go on the Nasdaq. So we copy these gamma exposure levels into Nasdaq. So copy and paste them. All right. I'll pull them up and let's see where they are. Okay, so all the gamma exposure levels are actually way down here, just before the previous week low. So that is an area of interest. That's heavy concentration of gamma exposure. Yo, K-Dog, what's happening, man? I see you in there. My man. Let's see if we can get a few more people in here. Well, I've been rushing to get this stream going today. I feel a bit rusty, but let's see how we get on. Right, let's keep this off screen. So I got 3 brand new accounts today. I want to trade those accounts live with you guys, just to see how we can perform with those evals. 3 of them, 3 brand new accounts I got. So let me see. I'll show you here. Let me copy and paste it. All right. So these 3 brand new accounts I just bought these, my funded futures, 3 brand new evals. I'm going to take 1 trade per account. So that's how I do it, 1 trade per account. Aim is to not try and bust these accounts. Yeah, that's what we're going to try and do. Aim to not bust these accounts, get them past however long it takes. The main thing is let's not try and bust them, right? VIX is elevated. VIX is elevated, so we have to make sure we're sizing down. VIX is 20, almost 21 right now. So yeah, we got to be very careful. The accent. It's a UK accent, man. UK accent. There's not many UK streamers, is there? It's all American streamers. I see that, I see that. Hopefully you can understand my accent, and it's not too bad. But the voice is good. You can hear everything. It's clear. Let me know if there's any problems with the mic. All right, so we got some gamma exposure levels for NQ. Let's look at ES now. We're going to do the same thing for ES. Look at the previous week levels on ES. Mark those out. So I told you I trade a volume profile, gamma exposure, and liquidity levels. So you know liquidity is going to be resting below this previous week low. It's a major level. But there's another low from this prior week. There's going to be a lot of liquidity under that low as well. So you got to be careful here. We could sweep here. I wouldn't be too comfortable longing because we've got this previous week, the prior previous week low underneath that. So you'd have to be very careful if the price ends up dumping down there. All right, so that's ES. Let's have a look at the gamma exposure levels for ES. Let's quickly get them on before market opens in 15 minutes. We're going to be ready and rocking. Yeah. Ready to go. Our market open 15 minutes. Yeah, the video camera, I'm not sure. I think it's because I'm using the webcam. I'm using the webcam, and I think it's maybe because of that. And it's showing overheating signal on the webcam. So if it turns off, it turns off. We'll keep the stream running as long as you can hear me, because we're here for the trading. I'll have to sort that out. I think maybe webcam's not the best option for streaming. I might have to buy a webcam. I'll get that sorted, or there might be a workaround around the webcam. So we'll see. All right. So ES also, let's have a look. All right. Yeah, so you can see ES tried to get into the previous week low, got rejected. We've fallen out of the previous week value area. Now that's a very bearish signal. That's a very bearish signal. We have a level, a gamma exposure level here. It's not the best, it's not the strongest. The strongest ones are down at the previous week low. So yeah, your A plus setups are going to be down, further down. Let's take that off. Let's see. Yeah, drop this down to 30 minutes. Yeah, so this could offer some support. Yeah, so this could flush out open, reclaim gamma exposure, and then maybe we trend a little bit higher. Okay, that could be a possible setup. Not the best, not the best. That's definitely not the best setup. I would class that as probably a B setup, to be honest. Your A's are down here. This is your A setup right here. I would expect a bounce from that level. Maybe sweeps though. My think would be sweeping the previous week low and yeah, it didn't. ES didn't sweep the previous week low. Remember, it didn't sweep it. NQ sweeped. So maybe it comes down unfinished business, sweeps below and then reclaims. That's my thinking. That's my thinking. Let's see. If we flush down here, I might tap it with one light size. We get down here. If we sweep this low, maybe get some points out of it. I'll tap it with another one here. But I'm looking for this sweep. I think there's probably some unfinished business under there. So yeah, if it sweeps down, reverses, I'll tap that a little bit harder. That'll be a little bit harder tap. So my normal size is 5 micros, right? 5 micros. If you come down here, I'll probably tap it with 3. Down here, I'll probably tap it with 4. And if I get the sweep, I'll probably tap it with full size at 5. Look for the bigger bounce. All right. Let's have a look at QQQ. Drop this down. Let's look at QQQ gamma exposure levels. Copy and paste those. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. 600 is your big gamma level on QQQ. Flat open as well. Very flat open, so we don't know which direction this is going to take. I'm not a big fan of flat opens. I like to see a gap and go, or give us a half gap support. That's what I like looking at. Flat opens, anybody's guess which way this is going to go. Well, I think your best pivots are down here, 600 QQQ. Let's look at SPY. Okay, SPY. Wow, SPY has the level way down here. This one right here, we have one here. It looks like we're trying to come through it. So we could overshoot into this gamma exposure level here, 668. But yeah, I think the biggest one, the put wall, is all the way at 660. Let's have a look at SPX now. Let's copy over the SPX levels. Cool. 6700 support. Biggest support is 6650. The founder at Gamma support, at Spot Gamma, he said 6700 is the biggest support. It doesn't look that doesn't look right. The biggest Gamma exposure level would be the put wall. Will be 6650. That's a large drop. That's a large drop. Will it happen on a Monday? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure it happens. Nvidia earnings on Wednesday after the bell. So the market just might range around like this until Wednesday, right? And then once you get the earnings, pick a direction. I could see that happening. VIX starting to climb. You can see that. VIX is starting to climb again. Not the best sign. 21 high VIX. Very high VIX. Damn. That is not the best thing to see. And you can see the VIX since the 12th of November has just been moonshotting. That's why we got the big correction, you know. 12th of November, you can see, bam. All right. I'll switch screens to ATAS, show you ATAS as well. This is the order flow screen that I use. Okay. 10 minutes to open. I'm not going to start explaining what each and everything means here, but over time I'll explain to you guys how this works, how I use it. This top left screen that you see, this is the tape. When I refer to the tape, this is the time and sales. So every order that goes through, every order that hits the ask or hits the bid gets displayed here. So you can see the volume, that's the amount of contracts. Look at that, 17. Somebody hit aggressive shorts, 17 contracts, aggressive shorts. You can see that even on this side. Look, if I zoom in, you can see it in the candles itself. You see that? 20 right there. These are the asks. Those are the bids. So when the bid is higher than the ask, you see green bar. When the asks are higher than the bid, there's more shorts here. Compared to the bids, you get a large red candle. These are executed orders, market orders. You can see how much shorting there was down here. Look, the market's trying to pull away from them. That means the potential for a trap. But I don't zoom into it. I can just see it visually, right? This here on the right hand side is the DOM. This is the level, the order book, the level 2 order book. How many shorts, how many longs. You can see this all the way. That's the VWAP, right? Look, you can see how many orders resting shorts sitting here. These are all shorts. These are all long limits. You can see a lot of long limits under the lows as well, are waiting to be filled. A market likes to take liquidity, right? But the book is still so thin. Obviously, we're still 5 minutes to open. But let's get some orders ready. $24. We're going to trade micros. Drop it down to 3. 3 for the first trade. So I'm not the type of trader that wants to be taking too many setups. Less is more, guys. Less is more when it comes to trading. If we can get in the casino and make some money and get out, that's the best way. The longer you're in the casino, the more prone you are to losing it. That's my opinion on it. That's a lot of pros I've seen trading. They trade 1 or 2 setups a day. Some even take 2 or 3 setups in a week. Those are some of the most successful traders I've seen. So less is more. What time frame do you review that information on usually? So when I start on a Monday, I look at it from a weekly perspective. But during the week, I drop it down to daily. Start off the analysis with the daily stuff. And And that's it. Daily is where I get my levels from. 30 minutes, pull up volume profile. That's where I get my levels. And then obviously when we're trading, we'll just drop it down to a 5 minute. But these levels never change, right? They're static. So it doesn't really matter if you're whatever time frame you've got it on. For volume profile, you want to set it on 30 minutes because they're in 30-minute blocks. So volume profile is 30-minute blocks. So when you're looking at volume profile, you want to do it on a 30-minute time frame. But once you obviously start trading, the levels shouldn't move. The previous day levels, they shouldn't move. They're static, so they won't move. Today's levels, they're going to move based off where the volume is on the volume profile. So that's pretty much how I do it. These gamma exposure levels, they're static levels, so they're not going to move. Yeah. So see these gamma exposure levels, they don't move. These levels, they don't move. These levels, previous day of value area, low, high, point of control, they don't move. They're static levels. So yeah, it doesn't really matter what time frame you're on. But when we're trading for order flow, I generally keep it on 2 minute. 5 minutes a bit laggy when it comes to order flow. I want to be in early on the move. I think with 5 minute you can miss 10-12 points. You can be 10-12 points late on the move. You don't want to be that guy. 10-15 points can be the difference between a winning trade and a losing trade. So yeah, I want to be in early, so that's why I use 2 minutes when it comes to order flow. Man, this market is selling off like crazy, huh? Just took the lows. What's ES doing? And it's so bearish, huh? What news have we got this week? Fed speaker, ADP employment. I think they're going to release the job numbers, right, this week from the previous month. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. Initial jobless claims, I think they're going to release that now, right, since the government's reopened. And then we got PMIs on Friday. But I think that job report is going to be a big one if they release that from last month, and that shows a lot of weakness. I think that might be actually bullish, I think that might be bullish because there's a lot of weakness in that job report. I think the chances of Fed rate cut will be higher. Right now, when I last checked the Fed Watch tool, the chances of a Fed rate cut is 50-50. That's partly the reason why we're seeing a massive sell-off in equities, but more importantly, that's why we're seeing a massive sell-off in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is considered the riskiest asset, right? So as soon as that Fed Watch tool went down to 50%, Bitcoin just plunged. All right, we're open. We are open. Okay, let's see. Let it play out. Coming down. Let's just mark this out. Selling off, selling off, selling off. Heavy delta. Look at this. Look at this. Really, really heavy delta. Loads of limit orders stacked here. Delta is so bearish. You see that? VIX climbing 21. Let's see, yes. Bulls are trying to step in. Massive sell-off pre-market. Bulls are trying to step in here. Man, I'm thinking they kind of have to defend this level. They kind of have to defend this level. Because if we go too deep into here, that's going to be so bearish. Right, they are bringing this higher. Still waiting, still waiting. Look at these bastards. They front run me. You see that, K-Dog? God damn, man. That was a decent bounce. But they front run my level. Damn, they're bringing it higher. They are bringing it higher. Yeah, that's a big bounce, isn't it? Let's see what yes is doing. Q. SPY. I'm trying to fill the gap. Right, let's mark out half gap on SPY. Just trying to fill the gap. Drop it down. Half gap will be resistance on SPY. Drop that down to a 1 minute chart. QQQ. Gap filled. Looks like I missed it. Okay, dog. Looks like I missed it. Oh well. Let's see if they continue to rally. Delta's getting bullish. Let me know if you can see this screen. Okay, dog. How is this? How does this look? Can you see both screens? Is this better or the trading view chart? What do you think? Damn, K-Dog. That's crazy, bro. And you can't see the numbers on this screen? But you can see the numbers on the other screen, right? So you can see the numbers on this screen. Can you see the numbers on this screen? Oh, you can see this for sure, right? What about this screen? Can you see numbers on this screen? I can see them when you yeah, when you select one. So these two screens I assume you can see, right? But this one's difficult. Right, the dual screen, this one's difficult, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll just have to switch between them. Because once, you know, people start jumping in on the stream, I think they're going to be asking some questions on the order flow stuff, so I'll just alternate. Yeah, that's a big bounce, isn't it? Damn. What the hell? 164 points. Damn, dude. Is that right? What the hell? Oh, wow. That's some serious bouncing, huh? Damn, Amana, what's Amana saying, man? I posted my the link to the stream. I'm not sure he's too happy with that, is he? Previous week value area low. Let's look at QQQ. Damn. What's Bitcoin doing? Trying to bounce as well. Altcoins trying to bounce. Everything's trying to bounce. Gold. Gold is down. Dixie's rallying as well. That's not a good sign, man. This is not a good sign. Dixie rallying is not a good sign for risk assets. Although it doesn't mean the market's going to top right away. This thing can, like, it can go on for, 5-6 months and rally with the S&P 500 before the S&P gives out. Yeah. Let's go back. Damn, that's a big bounce, man. Yeah, we're in positive gamma environment now. So see this zero gamma line here. You see this? When the market is above that line, it's more steady. There's a lot more support. That means market makers on every drop, they're buying, they're hedging. Anything under that, that's when it gets violent, because they have to sell into drops, in negative gamma. They have to sell because they have opposite positions, right? So if the market is dropping and they've sold a put, so you bought a put. This is a difficult concept for me to explain, but if you bought a put, they are obviously facilitating that trade, so they now short that put. So short the put means it's a bullish position, right? So if the market is starting to sell off, they have to sell. They have to sell. They have to sell futures contracts to hedge that position. Okay, because market maker's job is to stay delta neutral. Delta neutral. That's their job. All right, that's their job. But when we are above zero gamma, positive gamma, then they have to hedge this position. So if the market drops here, we're in positive gamma, they'll be hedging long, okay? Because they'll be short here. Right, they'll be buyers of options. There'll be long options. So if they are buyers of puts here, they're options portfolio is if they're long puts, that means their position is more favorable to the downside. So if it's more favorable to the downside and we're coming into it, the more it drops, they have to start buying up futures contracts. That's why in a positive gamma, it provides support, it suppresses volatility. Let's see the VIX. Yeah, VIX is dropping. As soon as you get above this, the VIX starts to drop because market makers, they start hedging their options exposure. They provide stability for the market. Let's see what Amana's saying. Amana told me to DM him. Okay. Amana. Yeah, you see, the previous week, value area low, you see how we're dropping off it. Look at that rejection. Look at that rejection, okay, dog? That's previous week value area low. That's also an LVN, right? So big level. LVN stands for low volume node. So these LVNs, they act as support and resistance, because either buyers are going to get exhausted here and we're going to start trickling down, or they're just going to rock it out of here. There's no in between, right? You can see they're starting to push back up. But we did get a small rejection. But yeah, we're through it. And this market's not going to give me an opportunity to get in, right? I don't think it's going to give me a chance to get in, bro. I want to be long and strong. This is going to be a major resistance. The value area high. That's actually the previous day value area high as well. So this is going to be a major resistance. Yeah. I do expect a reaction. See, ES isn't as strong. Yeah, ES is not as strong. You're not above the zero gamma line. You see that? It's acting as resistance. It's a major level for ES. That's a major level. I'm not flipping it yet. If this comes back down, I may be interested in long. Maybe. I just don't like that. It's front run value area low. Damn, this front run me. Nasty front run. Man. The thing with opens is they can undershoot and overshoot by a lot. So if you tap it right here, it can overshoot quite a lot and then reverse. That's what I don't like, the taking trades in the first 5-10 minutes, unless we're in positive gamma, we're above zero gamma, we gapped up, VIX is in decay, then I might take a long trade at the open. But longs at the open haven't made a lot of sense with high VIX environments so far. Let's go on the order flow. Still strong. See, cumulative volume delta, this is like the total delta. What is delta, right? That's the difference between asks and bids. Okay, so you can see 1.1k in asks, 1.4k in bids. This is rounded off to the nearest 100, okay. The difference is 221, so there was 221 more aggressive shorts in this candle than longs. That's basically what delta is, difference between the amount of asks and bids. So if they're smacking the bids, that means shorts are aggressively hitting the bid. On the ask side, the longs are aggressively hitting the ask. Okay, that's basically the wording behind it. You don't need to know that though. All you need to know is this number, this delta number. Yeah? Who's more aggressive? Look at this one, right? Look at this candle. 453 negative deltas. So many shorts in here. But they're getting absorbed by limit orders. Limit long orders. Hardly any movement on the candle. It was 31. 31 points in this candle. So all that negative delta was getting absorbed by longs. But this is low volume stuff though. It's quite a choppy market, it's quite low volume. Although the move was strong, it's still low volume compared to normal. I think that's quite expected ahead of Nvidia earnings. Yeah. But like I said to you, this is crucial for bulls to hold. That's a crucial level. Because if they don't start holding these levels, it's going to get seriously bearish. My line in the sand, I've told you, is 24,410. You get 2 daily closes under that candle, I'm flipping fully bearish at that point. Yeah. And my way to determine a bull and a bear market is a lot different to other traders. I have my own way of determining bull and bear market. I'll get to that, or where I got this from. I'll show you examples of how I do it, how I determine a bull and a bear market. Anything above 24,410, I'm still only considering longs. We get 2 daily candle closes under 24,410. That's when I'm starting to get my bear hat on. Be looking for 50-50 shorts. Right now, anything above that level, I'm still looking 90% looking for longs. I still believe in the in the bull market. Watch, let me show you. Right, let's move this. Let's move all this. Right, look at this. Everybody's bearish right now. Everybody's really, really bearish. Well, we've seen this before. Look at this. Let me drop this down to a 12 hour. Watch this, right? You see we rallied here, came back down, put in this double bottom here, and then we rallied up. You see that? Look at this. Rallied up, put in this double bottom, and we could start rallying. That's my base case anyways. That's my base case. I think we're going to have the Q4 end of year rally. I still believe SPX is going to hit 7,000 by year end, probably 7,000 plus. You can even see we've got gamma exposure levels at 7,000. Crazy. These gamma exposure levels are 0 DTE, by the way, which is absolutely insane. So you can see we've had this before. We rallied up, put this double bottom pattern in, and started rallying. So, similar style of pattern. I'll show you where I get this from, and why I think this candle will determine your bear market. You lose it, we're in big trouble. Yeah. Let me explain again. Let's take this off. Check this out, right? Everybody's bearish right here. Remember this, the Trump tariff news. I said news-driven rallies, they get retraced. I don't take news-driven sell-offs seriously. They're easy to V-shape back up. On any form of good news, that's what happens. Everybody was bearish here, thinking that's it, tech bubble's over, we're going down. I remain bullish. Sentiments probably even worse now. Everybody thinks we're going to get a massive sell-off, right? But look at this pattern, right? Up, down, double bottom, right? Watch this. Rally, down, up, down, double bottom, massive rally, yeah? So, I won't be surprised if you see a massive rally out of here. Massive rally. End of year. Q4 massive rally. On NQ. Surprise everyone once again. Everybody's bearish. The world is over. We're going down. We're going to collapse. Market just puts in a face melting rally. I still think SPX is going to get above 7,000 for year end. So yeah, this is the line in the sun, this 24,410. We close 2 daily candles under there, and for me, yeah, 24,410 is the line in the sand. We'll get 2 daily closes under there, then I'm flipping bearish at that point. Right now, NQ's trying to fill this fair value gap. You see that? This is a daily fair value gap. The ICT fair value gap. So NQ could definitely go for that today. Yeah, shorts are dead right now. There is no shorts. This is just V-shape. Aggressive V-shape. Short squeeze. A market sold off pre-market. Everybody got bearish down here. I reversed it. Typical NQ. Let's put this back up. Let's check ES. ES now above 0 gamma. SPX above 0 gamma. Yeah, this is now flipped bullish. No trade at the minute, unless we get a large pullback. Unless I see a large pullback, I don't think I'm going to be able to trade any long settles. Maybe get down to 0 gamma. 0 gamma is now lining up with the value area low. So that could be my next long setup if we get down there. I don't know if we're going to go all the way down there, but we could. Anything is possible. Pullback coming? Yeah. I think so. I think so. Let's see. Some shorts are coming in. Some shorts are coming in now. Some aggressive shorting. Back at VWAP. Yeah, they could flush it quite quickly if they wanted. Some aggressive shorts start coming in. You can see the book is quite thin. You see this? These are all the limits. So if you can get through VWAP right here, you see this is where the thickness is, right? There's green here. You can see the thickness. Under there, the book is really thin. The book is really thin. But as long as we're above it, we could rally back toward the high. But if aggressive shorts start coming in and we get below the VWAP, then yeah, we can get a deeper pullback. One minute candle getting absorbed. Yeah, longs are getting absorbed up here. You see that? See these blue clouds, like the blue lines? That's the volume. This is the delta. This is complete. This candle is dominated. But when you see a large spread like that of delta, that's usually stop losses. So these late longs up here, they have stop losses quite close by, and they're getting stopped. See, when you see wide delta spread out in the candle, that's usually a lot of stops. So if there's stop losses and we're not getting new aggressive shorts coming in, then we could see, a reversal back to the upside. What you want to see now is heavy concentration of negative delta, a lot of shorts, but then you get rewarded. Those shorts get rewarded. Half sell pressure, yeah. Yeah, this is, obviously not. This is no man's land. You can't place a trade here. Yeah, you just can't place a trade here. Not for me. This is not my style. If I get a deeper pullback, I'll be interested in a long setup. Just be patient. Just be patient. Okay. Give me a sec, mate. I'm just gonna make some coffee for myself and I'll be right back. Nothing happening right now anyways. All right, we're back. Yeah, look at that. Slamming it quite hard. Remember when I said V-shaped recoveries tend to get sold off? This is what happens. Yeah, they're hitting it hard now. Yeah, they're reloading the offer. You see that? They're spoofed, but they're reloaded. Big buyers stepping in. You can see the green orders here. Buyers trying to step in here at this hedge level. At this hedge level, you see? They're trying to step in right here. All right. Yeah, I might be getting a trade soon. Might be getting a trade. The buyers are trying to step in. Yeah, buyers is trying to step in here. Yeah, they've come in quite strong. At the time point of control. So this chart here is market profile, broken down into sessions. So the pre-market and New York session. So right now, you can see here, value area high, value area low. This is the New York session since we opened. These are 30-minute candles. And what this shows is where the value area is, where's the point of control for the session. And it also shows me where the volume is in the candle on a 30-minute chart. And this is good because this shows sometimes when the candle's all the way to the bottom and there's a lot of volume and we start pulling away from that volume, you know there's a lot of shorts stuck there, and vice versa at the top. This isn't really showing that at the moment. You see that? The volume's kind of concentrated here, not right at the top. So these guys, all these longs are still not underwater, right? These guys who longed here, they're not underwater until we get all the way down to the bottom here. That's the psychology behind that. They're not going to close out. These guys ain't closing until we get all the way down here. So mentally, I don't think I'm too in favor of this setup. I've seen this play out before. Front run this level. So I could see something like this happening. I may take this long back to from 25,006 to 125. That doesn't make any sense. No, it does. Yeah, that could be a good trade, you know. Because they will start hedging the zero gamma level. I think we can overshoot. The VIX, yeah, VIX is starting to climb. So we could overshoot down to 25,005. Yeah. So in theory, we get to the bottom, then it opens the floodgates for those longs. Yeah, it just means those longs are going to start closing, right? If they have stop losses, they're underwater. They'll close. Stop losses are market long orders, right? So they'll show up as market longs, as bids, right? So that will add buying pressure when it's like a valve getting released, right? When they close out, it'll release them. They have to buy, they have to sell to close those orders. Let's see what happens here. It's very aggressive, very aggressive. Not touching this yet. What's ES doing? Yeah, same thing. Man, this market's weak. Didn't even reach the value area high, both indexes. Let's see the Qs. Yeah, man, this is not looking good. This is not looking good. Damn, SPY had a massive rally. Why didn't it? ES didn't move that much though. That's a bit weird. Yeah, back under zero gamma on SPX. Trying to hold here, look. All right, I'll try. Try long here. Yeah, getting some good reaction. Yeah, you see how these big limit orders now are starting to reload. You see how aggressive they're reloading. 22 points, 23, 24. Decent bounce, nice bounce, nice bounce. Got some exhaustion. You see that? That was exhaustion. I'll explain to you what I mean in a minute. That's 30 points so far. Bounce. Book looks alright still. Book still looks okay. Book still looks okay. Come on, bullies. I'll take half off. Come on, bulls. Get past that V-bot. Come on. Let's go. Book is still looking all right. Getting some absorption now as well. 36 points. That's decent. Get me up to VWAP as well. At least. At least back to this fair value gap. Right? At least up to here. 188. Let's go, bulls! The shorts are starting to reload. Keep an eye on that order book. The DOM. You see? They're starting to reload. But they're getting absorbed. Heavy selling getting absorbed. All that selling getting absorbed. Bulls stepping back in. Bulls are stepping back in. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at this. 37 points so far. Yeah. Come on, get through those large orders. Setting out the VWAP. Man. Yeah, bulls are not looking great here. Not looking great. The shorts are starting to reload. A lot of tape. You see the green tape? Look how many bulls are coming in, stepping in here. Now this is obviously going to be a difficult area for the bulls to reclaim. There's a big order sitting right at the VWAP. You see that, right? Look at this. Right at 161. I zoom in, you can actually see how many orders. 49. It's not huge because it's Monday and the books are thin. So they can move this market pretty easily today, guys. First day on YouTube, man. First day, I'm a bit rusty. Give it a bit of time. Gets better. I'm still a bit rusty. I think they're gonna get us up to here. Up to here, and then maybe, come back down. Or just rally higher. I don't know. But at least, bounce from here to here. Just to fill this imbalance. That's what I think is going to happen, but they're trying to bring it down. Yeah, presenting is a bit different. Very, very different than actually just trading. Trading and speaking at the same time is a bit weird, yeah. Yeah, they're trying to bring this down. Yeah, I'm going to take it off. I've took it off. I took it off right there. Made something, not a massive amount. We'll wait. We'll just wait now. Let's see what they're going to do here. Yeah, bulls are stepping in again. You see this? Remember when I told you the delta is spread out? These are usually stops. You see these bulls right here. All this positive delta, they're closing. They're generally smaller traders. They're long the tops, and then they have stop losses all here nearby, and they get out pretty quickly. Some more exhaustion. Bulls again getting absorbed up here. You can see the volume on the delta. It's all bulls. They didn't get anywhere. No follow through. Now they're getting absorbed, coming down. Look at how the book is moving. You see the book? They're moving out of the way. You see how they're cancelling these bars. They're pulling back. Yeah, you see that? That's called spoofing. They're not real orders. They're making you think that they're going to protect this level, but they're not. Look at them. The shorts are getting aggressive. They could get absorbed here. Yeah, I'll go in. Went in long. Let's see how this one goes. Again, key support level. Right, retest of the value area low. Went in with small size. I'm not 100% with this trade. VIX is still elevated. Yeah, there's some method to that madness, K-Dog. to spoofing. There's some method to it. I think you're referring to that Chinese guy, right? Some Chinese trader. They're still hanging out. Yes, I'm just hoping for a rally back into the fair value gap. So just hoping for a rally from here to fill this imbalance. That would be a really nice win. Let's see if they give it to us though. Delta's stepping in though. Delta is stepping in. A lot of Delta is stepping in. No, three, and not total 3 trades. It's 3 losses. If I get 1 loss, if my first trade on the account is a loss, then I don't trade that account again. If the second trade on the brand new account, the first one is a loss, I won't take another trade on it. And if the third one, same thing. If the first trade is a loss, I won't take another further trade. So in theory, you can say, yeah, 3 trades maximum if they're all losses. But if the first trade is a win, then I'm going to continue trading. I can trade that account again, and it's to do with drawdown. I'll explain that later to you, why I came up with that. So I don't like to take too many trades. If I find the setups are there, then we're going to take them, as long as we don't hit the first trade is a loss on each account and we've blown, then we're alright. Yeah, that's what you want to do. That's how you're going to protect the account. If your first trade is a loss, don't trade that account again. If it's a win, you can continue trading it, because the thing is, so for example, your drawdown on the account is 2,000, right? You come in every day with 2,000 drawdown on a brand new account. Now, if you make 500 on one trade, now your drawdown is 2,500. You've got 2,500 of drawdown left. Say if you made $500, but you came back the next day, your drawdown's only going to be 2,000 again, because the drawdown trails, right? It moves with you at the end of the day. But if your first trade's 500, now you've got 2,500 worth of drawdown to play with, to essentially make more money, to try and pass the eval faster, right? So that's the idea. You have more drawdown. But if your first one's a loser, just close the account. Yeah, this is getting aggressive to the downside. Feels like they are trying to form a low here. Keep supporting. Retesting value area low. I think they're testing just to fill this imbalance and then maybe come down. Something like that. Let's see. That's the box, the Ninja Trader. This is how many points I'm up. So let's see on this account. If the next 5-minute candle goes back down here, I'm gonna get out, break even, because I think then the value area low is probably not going to hold and they're going to go lower, because we've tested it 3-4 times now and it's supported. I think if they test it again, it's going to break, because the more you test a key support level, the weaker it gets. But right now, we're struggling at this fucking gamma exposure level, man. See this line here? We can't get above it. Struggling. But we take it easy. Let's see. Uh, 45, 46. Fiddle in the middle, scalper's paradise. Yeah, value area low is a good trade. It's always a good trade. Especially if you see the delta. I'll show you what I saw. I'll show you. I'll explain. 55, 56 points. Give it to me. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Huge delta coming in. Have a look at this, K-Dog. Look at that delta. Right at the VWAP. Look at that delta, baby. Look at this. Let's go. All right, I'll take it off there. 71 points on that. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Not bad. So decent, yeah, decent. Not bad. Look, 539 so far on this account. You want 100 points? Yeah, this probably would have got 100 points, but you never know. I mean, a lot of delta just opened up at the VWAP right there. And if it reverses, you're going to give away a lot of points. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll take it. VWAP is also the point of control. So we can't seem to get above the point of control right now. But I do think it's going to fill the this imbalance. We're filling it, trying to fill it. I still think it's going to fill it. But 71 points is decent. But 40 would have been my stop. So 71, that's almost a 2-to-1. So that's alright. So we're at 500 on that one. I'm going to carry on, if I get another setup, I'm going to carry on trading this account. Because now I've got 2,500 drawdown. Right? So even if I lose 500, I come in tomorrow still with 2,000 drawdown. So that's the idea. So if I make another 500 on the account, I've got another, I've got 3,000 drawdown today, not 2,000, right? But tomorrow if I come in with 51,000 balance, right? If I come in with 51,000 tomorrow on the account, I still have 2,000 a drawdown, right? But today I have 3,000 of drawdown. You understand? So I've got a bigger cushion to trade on that account today. Yeah, look at that candle. Yeah, that's the thing. You had a lot of delta opening. You look at this. So much delta. A lot of stops. That's a lot of stops. In that candle. You see how all the green deltas all spread out throughout the candle? Yeah. This would be late shorts. Smaller traders. Scalpers getting out. Scattered stop losses. Yeah, that was a good place to take profit, right? Let's let it go. So the original idea, check this out, right? You can see we came down, it was coming down, down. All the delta, the aggressive deltas towards the top of the candle. Look at the bottom of the candle. Value area low, hardly any sellers here. They're exhausted. Okay, that's what you typically want to see at the value area low, because that's what happens at value area low. There's no more sellers. They don't want to auction it any lower. So you can see that, and you can see positive delta stepped in. You see that volume? Positive delta stepped in, and we got a nice move up. That was the idea. That was the exhaustion candle. This here at the value area low again, they're trying to take it down, but they're getting absorbed. Those aggressive shorts getting absorbed. This candle is actually turned green. You see that? So these guys are underwater now. This candle here, you see when you're coming down into the value area, exhaustion again at the value area low. Yeah. So at the value area low, you're either going to see trap traders at the lows and a reversal away from them quickly, or you're going to see exhaustion. So the auction's finished, they don't want to take it any lower. So value area low is typical for that type of move. Yeah. Retest of the value area low. This could support again. But I'm not gonna try my luck there again. Because now you can have a lot of stops, stops under these. The market will probably, try to flush them, stops, and then reverse it, maybe. Let's have a look at this. This is not working for some reason, this STPO. Let me just see if I can. Let's see if I can get it back up. I have to upgrade. I have to maybe take off another indicator. Take off the volume. Anyways. Switch over to ATAS. Short starting to dominate the book. Where at the same time they're showing exhaustion. Because we got heavy positive delta when it came down. That's usually divergence because we actually made an equal low but a lower high or a higher low on CVD. It's usually a divergence, but I'm not going to take a trade just off that because they're starting to reload the book. But you can see a lot of scattered orders down here. That's probably what they're going to do, flush it. Just chopping up the value area low. Looks like a range day though. Monday, indecisive day. Nvidia earnings on Wednesday. So not expecting massive drops or pops. Like I said, you know, we could be just trading down here until the news, and then the market picks the direction. I still believe in the end of year rally. We'll see though. This delta is not looking great for shorts. This is not a good attempt from shorts. Look, they're dying off. Their numbers are getting smaller and smaller. You see that, right? At the value area low. This is exhaustion. They're showing exhaustion here. You might get one flush and then a reversal. Damn, the ATR is really high, man. Wow. 40 on a 2-minute candle. That's crazy. But yeah, they're bringing it higher. That's what I thought. Yeah, you see that? Yeah. Value area low, you need a bigger candle to get through it. Hey, Ticket Trade. How's it going, man? Nice to see you in here. Yeah, I trade order flow, footprint data. We have volume profile. So we have volume profile trading and gamma exposure levels. A little bit different to most YouTubers. I think most YouTubers, the trade probably ICT. So nothing, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but yeah, I have a different style. This is my own unique style. As I have been using for a few years now. Serves me well. Trying to pass it on to other people. See if it's of interest to any other people that may want to use order flow, how to use it effectively. It's my first stream, so obviously you got to give me a little bit of time to teach it whilst on live stream. But I'm hoping for a long-term journey with YouTube. So yeah, over the course of more live streams, I'm sure people will get the grasp of what I'm doing. But yeah, just like I was saying, at the value area low, if you're going to see a real attempt to go lower, you need more delta, negative delta than this. Look at how small the candles are. Volume's dying, negative delta is dying. This is a poor attempt from the shorts, and now they're getting squeezed again at the VWAP. And you get confused. Yeah, it's not the easiest. It's not the easiest style of trading. It's more like an art. More importantly, dude, is having good levels. Having good levels on your chart. That's going to make a big difference. And bet size Bet size is the most important part of trading. Knowing your strongest pivots. Your strongest pivots, you go with the biggest hand. If your pivots are weak, you have to adjust your risk. If volatility is high, the VIX is starting to moon, you got to size down, right? So it's all your bet sizing. A lot of it to do with bet sizing. Majority of trading is all bet sizing. Having strong pivots, it's like poker, isn't it? When you have the strongest hand, you go in, you're more confident, you go in with larger bet sizes. So that's pretty much how it is. You just got to be able to identify good levels, A plus levels, or if it's a B plus level, B level, that's the way I trade. Every pivot is either an A setup or a B setup, and then we have to watch the volatility. Then I watch the order flow to confirm the trade. Mostly position long because the stock market generally goes higher. So I would even argue that randomly longing, you still have a 50% chance of the trade working in your favor, 50% chance from anywhere. That's because the market generally goes up most of the time. So if you have a good support level, that increases the odds a lot more. So that's why I tend to be on the long side until my bear market trigger confirms. That's when I'll start being more 50-50 on the trades. Yeah, now very, very strong delta coming in by bulls. They're probably going to smash through this VWAP on this. How many attempts have we had now? One fake attempt here, one second attempt, third attempt. Are they finally going to get through or what? And fill that imbalance? Yeah, this usually don't see this much consolidation at the value area low. That's quite unusual. But this is also zero gamma. You see this line here? This is a hedge pressure line. So market makers are hedging this level because under this, the market makers, it becomes negative delta. So it can get volatile under here. This is a big gamma level. Also looking at QQQ, get some levels from there as well. Nothing close by here, but you can see this. L2 just means it's a smaller gamma level. L1 is the biggest one. L2 is still decent size. You can see markets rejecting from there. Market makers are hedging this level. Also SPY, let's take off the gap. Yeah, this SPY 670 levels, also a very important gamma level. You can see it came close to it. Market makers stepped in, started hedging. Hedge pressure levels, how you identify. So these hedge pressure levels, I get them from spot gamma. Get them from these guys. This is quite an expensive software, but it's very, very good. It's like I think $80 a month to get these levels, but you get quite a lot. You get these notes here. Let me show you. So these guys will tell you, give you some heads up on the market. You can read all this stuff. So SPX gamma is negative across all strikes. We'd expect zero trades to come off and offer some options. 6,700, yeah. 6,800. So they give you levels as well, bigger levels on SPX. SPX is the biggest index. So these gamma exposure levels have the most impacts because it's the biggest. SPX is the biggest index. And all we do is we copy and paste these levels. If you want to see the actual gamma exposure model, it looks like this. Like this. This is SPX 7000. You can see massive gamma exposure here, puts and calls. So you know when SPX comes to 7,000, there's going to be a lot of hedging activity at this level. This is market makers options portfolio. This is market makers options portfolio. So you can see these big spikes, right? So the price is under them, the resistance is the price is above them, they act as support. And these levels, they change every day. They're based off 0 DTE, 0 days to expiration. So they're based off 0 DTE options, and they change every day. So we have different ones for SPX, SPY, Nasdaq, QQQ, even Russell, IWM. All we do is copy and paste them into TradingView, and it plots the levels for us. And then these act as support and resistance. So 0 gamma is a big level because under there becomes negative gamma. It means market makers are short the short options, their portfolio. So if you're short an option, if you're short puts, right, your short puts here, if that's your short put, that means you're bullish. That's a bullish position, right? So if the market is selling off in negative gamma, you're short here, market makers are going to start going underwater on their long position. So what they have to do, they have to start selling into it. They have to start selling into it. That adds more selling pressure. Right, that adds more selling pressure. That's why negative gamma is a dangerous environment. Very dangerous environment. They have to sell into it because their job is to be delta neutral. Delta neutral, right? They have to be delta neutral. They don't want to be positional. Market makers' job is to provide liquidity. They want to be delta neutral. So if the market's going against them, they have to hedge that, right? Because they're long puts. Short puts means long, right? In a positive gamma environment, so example, 0 gamma was here, the 0 gamma line was here, and all these options were above the 0 gamma. That means the market makers are long options. So long a put means they're basically essentially they bought the put here, right? So you sold a put to them. They're buyers of that put, so their position is long here. Okay, they have to long. They're long here. So when the market's going down, they provide. They have to start buying futures contracts to try and hedge that delta, to make it delta neutral again. So it's the opposite. So if we're above the 0 gamma line, and we're coming into these support levels, they act as support. But right now the 0 gamma line is all the way up here. If they start coming down, market makers are going to start selling into these, aggressively selling into them. But what happens is you get violent V-shaped reversals, because once those options are in the money, those 0 DTE options are in the money, those traders will cash in, they'll close those options, the positions are closed, market makers are holding short futures contracts. They'll start selling those future contracts. Once the options positions closed out, they'll start selling those futures contracts, and then that releases all that pressure, and they add more fuel. Once they start closing all those futures contracts, the short futures contracts, when they went short, they start closing, and then you get violent snapbacks. So yeah, options gamma exposure is massive, man, because options they're a massive part of the market. Market makers, massive part of the market. Options have become so big now. They influence direction a lot. Not just on the indexes, even on the individual stocks, right? A lot of options trading on individual stocks. Well, here we're more concerned about the index. We can do the individual stocks. We can monitor those as well. This site has even individual stocks live order flow. If you come into the I don't have that. That actually they charge more for that. So I've not subscribed to it. That's very expensive, like $200 a month. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm just interested in the levels. So because these are zero DC options, they're less relevant in the afternoon, because most of the traders that are trading these options, they've closed out by then. So in the PM, these levels are less relevant. Okay, that's why I take most of my trades in the first few hours, get them over with, because the levels in the afternoon they don't make much sense. $5K for this education. Yeah, it's not drawing these, is it? Yeah, let's not draw these. The Tories. $5K for drawing this. Right, $5K for drawing this. How hard is it to draw a few lines, man? Come on. All right, let's go back to the order flow screen. Let's see what's happening now. And now they're starting to get a little bit more aggressive, the shorts. Just chopping this area like crazy. The line you sent on Friday, yeah. Some lines, for some odd reason, they tend to work, but I don't know, man. They sometimes work. I would say they sometimes work, because you do have some traders trading trend lines. So if you have a large group of people trading certain techniques, and sometimes it's going to work, isn't it? Right? You have a large group of people who are trading trend lines. They're all doing the same thing. Cumulatively, they'll have some size. So sometimes that's why you see trend lines working. But I don't think they make a very long-term profitable strategy. Just a second, guys. Okay, man. Yeah, you can see now, chopped it, now getting under. Starting to flush. See what ES is doing. Same thing. Drop this down to 2 minutes. Yeah, they're starting to get aggressive now. Shorts are starting to get a little bit aggressive. But that's a lot of stops. You can see in that candle. The spread out delta again. Usually stop losses. But they might reclaim the value area low. Now they're taking stops under it. If they reclaim it, they could push higher. Now you can see this is not a great candle for bears. That delta, you can see, got eaten up. That's not a great attempt to go lower. After a big liquidation candle, you want to see more continuation. Yeah, this looks like it's going to retrace back up, you know. Okay, I'm going long. Gonna go long. Let's see what happens here. A reclaim of the value area low. Now that all these stops got taken, I think we have a good chance of going and filling some of this imbalance up here. Yeah, longs are getting absorbed now. Let's go back on here. Out of this. Out there, they're getting very aggressive. Took a 30-point stop. Didn't like the way it was going, that one. ATAS is having some latency problem right now. That's not cool. Alright, they're back online. Still selling, still saying ATAS is back. You see a big order waiting to be filled. Static, are they going to take him out? Let's see. Going for him. Watch the tape now. Watch the orders on the tape. They took him out, yeah. Yeah, 31 there. All these orders, big orders. They filled him. Now they're refilling the book again, you see? They're saying, come and get us. The bulls are saying, come and get us. They're refilling the book. They want to get in here. I'm not taking any trade here. If bulls regain some strength, maybe I'll take a trade. If you can regain the value area low, might take a trade back up to here. But for now, I'm going to sit out and wait for lower levels. If we get them. All the bigger levels are to the downside. Not looking good for bulls though, I must say. You're trading a lower part here. They really want to be getting out of here, to be honest. They want to be moving away. The lower it trades, the more bearish it gets. It's not a good sign. How's Bitcoin doing? Wow. Wow, it's closed red. Yeah, this is my idea for Bitcoin. It was. I thought we'd get a spike, 107, then a move back down. Kind of thought this was going to happen. Doesn't look like it. I think it's going to flush straight to the value area low right now. Around this 91k. Then maybe we get the bounce. Man, this is so bearish. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is crazy. Let's take this off, put it the weekly on. Yeah, there just isn't much volume here. That's why, you're getting these massive V shapes. There's no volume here. So if this level is kind of lost, we could just quickly flush all the way down. The next support is probably down here. Not looking good, this, mate. Not looking good. We kind of want to hold this value area low, this area, and start moving higher. And this right now is not looking great. ES is already taken the low. Wow. SPY, damn. Any news? Have they got any news right now? What's going on? I don't see much. Yeah, just a crazy sell-off. Just a natural sell-off. Looks bearish. $6,700 SPX support. That's your next support. So be prepared to find some support at 6,700. If I see a good reaction at 6,700, might be interested along there. And 6,700 is a big level on SPX. Come on, give us a flush and a nice reversal back up. Get some points off that. The VIX, yes, VIX is at 21. So spiking higher. Going higher and higher. VX futures, that's delayed. Well, the VIX is spiking, man. This is not looking too good. Not looking great. ES coming into previous day value area low, and SPX coming into 6,700 now, and NQ about to take out the low. So watch for a reversal. Also NQ is lining up with the value area low here, previous day. So you can see all indexes are starting to reach some support at the same level. Let's go back to NQ now. See SPX. No real bounce on SPX yet. No trade. Just yet. ES bouncing off value area low. Previous day value area low so far. I want to see a sweep through it and a reclaim. NQ almost at the previous day value area low. Tape is slowing though from the bears. You can see the delta is getting weaker after this massive candle. You can, yeah, reversal I think is coming pretty soon. Because after that massive candle, if they're going to keep selling, this candle needs to be aggressively to the downside. Otherwise, you can see a quick snapback. Yeah, I'll take it. I've taken it long. Let's see how that one plays out. So all indexes are at pretty much support here. A VIX, it's just a VIX, isn't it? I'm not liking that VIX. Small size, usually a big support level like that would go heavier, but I'm not liking that VIX. I'm not liking that VIX. So I'm going to keep it light. 3 micros. I'll stop out if we lose this low again. Let's look at SPX. Yeah. VIX is our prior resistance, yeah. Yeah. So we could see a pullback on the VIX. SPX is losing 6,700, so this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign. It's overshooting because the VIX is really elevated. Yeah, and bulls are getting absorbed here. Yeah, this is massive absorption. This is really bearish. Let's see if SPX starts to get some support. If we get above 6,700, I'm going to add a couple of contracts. I do think we'll get a nice retracement back up. But market makers will start hedging this level. But because the volatility is overshooting, the pivots overshoot when the VIX is higher. So let's see. If it reclaims, I'll add more. Keeping the size small. I'll stop out for about 35 points. But we're getting some positive delta coming in. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting some positive delta. Tape is slowing, which is a good thing. Because if the shorts are going to really come in, and continue. If they have real intention of continue this lower, they're gonna this tape should be moving a lot faster, right? But you can see people are interested in long in here. A lot of delta coming in, positive delta. This shorting isn't. This is not a very aggressive shorting here. Key level as well. So yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens here. If I get a 5-minute candle close above 6,700, I'll add a couple of more micros to the position. Some bulls are coming in. That's a good sign. Bulls are starting to come in. Let's go. We are at extremes, right, for the selling. I don't expect a massive sell-off on a Monday without any major news, with Nvidia earnings right around the corner. I'm not expecting a massive sell-off today. We should get a move back up to value area low. So from here to here, we should get that move. Right. So yeah, from the previous day value area low, I think to this value area low, we should get a bounce. All right, kiddo. I might have to end the stream probably around another 30 minutes or so. I'll stream and then probably get out of here. Come back tomorrow. That's it, enough. That's enough trades for today. 3-4 trades is enough. So let's see if we can get a nice rally out of here. So yeah, SPX, let's add a couple of contracts. Okay, so I added a couple of contracts to that position. Expecting a larger bounce to the upside. Let's see if we can get it. I do think SPX can rally up to here though, right? You can see we got really aggressive. I think it can rally up to here, at least. So I expect a rally on NQ up to here. And if it's going to sell off, it'll sell off from that level. Yeah, decent bounce, nice bounce. Let's go, let's go. Keep going, don't stop. ES also support, getting a nice bounce. Beautiful bounce. Look at that SPY as well at the hedge pressure. Bounce there. SPX head pressure bounce. Really nice. Yeah. 45 points so far on this. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. That's a decent trade. Yeah, now it's getting really aggressive now, yeah. That's 65 points so far. I think it's going to run to here at least, yep. Really nice. Bids are starting to reload as well. Yeah, I'll take it off. 60 points, that'll do. Probably might see some resistance at the value area low, so yeah. Not bad, decent. I would say that was an A trade. That's an A setup because all indexes were at support at the same time. That's usually very unlikely where you see all indexes at support at the same time. You saw that, right? Look at this. It's rocket fuel now, isn't it? Look at this. It's going crazy. Right, so NQ is at support. You saw that previous day value area low. Yeah. ES at support, previous day value area low. See that? QQQ, not really much. SPY, head pressure. SPX was the one I was looking at where I said 6,700 is going to be big support. Big support on SPX. So all indexes at key support, and just like Tiki Trader was saying, he was saying VIX is at resistance. So everything for that trade was lining up perfectly, right? And then we saw from the order flow, right? So everything was lining up. SPX, SPY, ES key level, NQ key level, right? VIX at resistance. Order flow, look at the order flow, right? If they want to take this thing down, look after this massive delta volume candle, if they're going to really take this thing down, they're going to smash it. The next candles, they're going to start smashing. Look at the subsequent attempts to try and take this market down lower. Very, very pathetic attempts from the bears to take this lower. And now they're just getting trapped. A lot of negative delta here on a green candle. All that negative delta on a green candle. This is not great effort from the bears, right? Poor effort. And now they're getting squeezed. All these shorts here are getting squeezed now as well. So this could continue higher. This could start ripping. When you see massive volume like this, you want to see a continuation. If you're short, if you're a bear, and you see this is dangerous. The reason why this is dangerous is because if this reverses on you, all these guys are trapped, right? So if you see a massive candle like this, and you're a bear, you want to see continuation down, aggressive continuation down. You don't want this thing reversing because all these guys here in this massive candle, look at this one as well, a lot of negative delta on here as well. They're getting squeezed now. And all indexes were at key levels, right? All indexes were at key levels. That's an A+ setup. Market's ripping. Like I said, I don't expect this market to sell off today, especially with Nvidia earnings coming up, lack of news. I just expect it to range, maybe get up to here by the end of the day, and then sell off, back down, maybe back up, do something like this for the rest of the evening in the PM. Yeah, now I expect this market to come and fill this imbalance, this 5-minute FVG that we had here. If we can come fill it, maybe get a rejection, go higher, something like that. Now I'm thinking, damn, I should have left a runner, but okay, so it's whatever. I'm happy with the profit. That's not a bad profit. What a bounce though, huh? What a bounce, guys. 164-point bounce. That is crazy. Damn, the ATR is still so high. ATR is massive. 167-point bounce so far. Yeah, I expect this to keep going now, to be honest with you. I wouldn't look to be short in this market right now. All these guys are, they're going to get squeezed out. These guys, all this shorting, they're going to squeeze them. All the shorting, this leg that you see here, they're going to try and squeeze these guys. They're squeezing these guys right now, the late shorts, and all these shorts are still holding, they're going to squeeze them. They're going to get squeezed out. Market's probably going to end up somewhere here before the pullback. That's what it is, man. It's all about max pain. What is the max pain point for traders? When all these guys are going to get exuberant or bullish up here, what do you think the market's going to do? Probably reverse. Take out those late longs, right? Is it going to flush all the way down? Probably not. But late longs are going to get punished. This is why I never want to be late to a move. I want to be the first guy in. When it's key support, I see the order flow. I want to be the first guy in. Not the last guy. I don't want to be up here. I don't want to be up at value area low. I don't want to be longing from here. Right? If I long up here, this market could just easily reverse on me. It's not a good risk to reward here, in my opinion. So you want to be the first guy in. Get out quickly. Because you don't know what's going to happen up here. We can guess. We can come up with a theory. But in reality, we don't really know. So get in first and get out. If I move this, where do we keep rejecting off these gamma exposure levels. If I move this, let's see previous week. Around the previous week value area low. Yeah, I want to see bulls reclaim this level, man. Start pushing higher towards this fair value gap. I really want to see a reclaim of previous week value area though. That's crucial. They need to reclaim this if you want to see higher prices. You know, they've chopped this area quite a bit. Bears have tried, but we keep finding support here. Seems to me the market isn't really going lower than this level. It keeps supporting. I think they're going to reclaim value area low and go higher, especially after Nvidia earnings. That's my thought process on the market from a longer term perspective. And coming up into that resistance, I rejected so many times from this, huh? What's going on here at 155s? Getting stuck at the VWAP right now. Show you the ATAS. Getting stuck at the VWAP. Not bad. So, only traded one account today. First day streaming. That's probably why I didn't touch these other two accounts. I probably would have longed that A plus setup on multiple accounts, to be honest. I probably would have hit them on two at least, right? I would have hit them on two accounts, at least on that, because of A plus setup. But I didn't. I was on stream. A lot going on, a lot of moving parts. So still happy that we're all right on this one. Decent performance. Three trades, two wins, two decent sized wins. I think I got about 120 points in wins and 30-point stop. Yeah. So 90 points today. On the 30-point stop was actually with light size. This A plus setup, I hit it with 5 contracts. So decent return. Now we're just ripping, huh? We're gonna get past this VWAP. Definitely gonna get past it for sure. Like I said, I expect this market to continue moving higher now. They got enough people bearish. Previous day value area low. Pathetic effort as well from the bears. That's what you usually see at the previous week value area low. That's what you want to see. Ticky trade if you're still in here. Value area low, you want to see volume fading at that level. Less delta. Signs of exhaustion. That's what you tend to see at a value area low. That's perfect conditions for a reversal. This was even more perfect because we swept a level as well. So, yeah, that was really nice. But yeah, I think this market continues to rip higher now. You can see continuing to move higher. We're going to fill this FVG like I said. Right, this 5-minute one. Probably get a little pullback. Continue higher to about this LVN here. Probably get a pullback down. And then chop in the PM. That's what I think is going to happen. I want some more strength from bulls. Like I said, I want them to really get above this previous weak value area low and then start moving higher. Hold it, right? That's what I want to see. I want to see VIX coming down. The VIX is starting to fall off a cliff here. ES wants to reclaim zero gamma. NQ way above it. SPX is, yeah, that was my exit. That's what I thought SPX is going to get to, right? Got a lot further than that. Got a lot further. Want to see SPX above the zero gamma line. I'll start to move towards these levels. I don't know if that's going to happen today though. I think we'll probably see something like this. Not expecting a massive rally in either direction. Just more range trading. NQ previous week value area low sits right in this gap. So that's probably your first rejection, 184. You'll see a small pullback and probably the market's going to rally. Or something like this maybe. Just an idea, but I'm happy. First day, first live stream performance, decent. Stayed patient. 3 trades. Happy with those trades. And I think, yeah, I think I'm done here. In future streams, I will start to explain to you guys more about the concepts. The more you watch, the more you'll understand. And now, yeah, I think that's it for me. I won't be trading for the afternoon, probably just jump in to smooth stream and just chill out in there for a bit with the boys. But yeah, happy with that performance. Thanks K-Dog and Tiki, and see you tomorrow.